Hello, and welcome back to the Balance and Blissful Energies podcast. Today, I am very grateful to have Dr. Konstantin Korotkov, PhD. He is a professor of computer science, biophysics, and psychology, and he has published over 200 books on physics and biology, holds 15 patents, and has authored 17 books. He also has delivered lectures, seminars, and professional training in 56 countries. Over the past 50 years, Dr. Korotkov has served as a professor at several universities and scientific institutes in St. Petersburg, Russia, as president of the International Union of Medical and Applied Bioelectrography, and as director of the Biowell companies. Welcome, Konstantin.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm glad to see you, Elizabeth, and I'm happy to deliver whatever I know.
Wonderful. Yeah, I'd love to hear a little bit. I've heard other interviews with you, and I know that you have a history in studying telepathy and starting, some time back with more secret parts of the government, but very interesting stuff. Is there anything from that background that you can share with us?
Yes, of course, because you know that my background was quantum physics. I graduated university as quantum physicist, and for the first maybe 10 or 15 years, I worked in the university in different quantum physical areas. So laser physics, plasma physics, atmospheric physics. So it was very intensive and very interesting work. Then it was somehow very interesting situation as well. And I made PhD in physics, my first PhD. But then I was introduced to different, I would say, interesting people. So it happens that I was doing some research, and in my research, I was always inventing something. And once I had my friend who was engineer in our university, and he claimed, and other people told, that he can heal people by their hand, by his hand. For me, it was interesting, not more than that. But then one day, my wife had a problem. She had ultrasound investigation, and after this, she had very big pain in the stomach area. And she came to the doctor, but doctor told, oh, it happens sometime, but wait, it will be okay. And she's waiting one day, another day, third day, nothing happening. And then I asked my friend, would it be possible for you to come and treat her? No problem. He came, he put his hand on her, and pain was gone immediately. So it was very impressive for me. And then I asked, okay, if you can influence people, would you be able to influence sensors, physical sensors? Because we understand that this influence, it's like type of energy, biological energy, but we live in the universe. And the universe is not only ourselves, it's not only our animals, our living beings, it's everything that we have around ourselves. And in particular, I was absolutely sure that if we deal, for example, with plasma, it's a mix of electrons and protons that has a neutral charge. And I was very much interested in the properties of this plasma. And there are many scientific papers that tell that plasma has very unusual properties. So I asked him, would it be possible for you to come in our laboratory and try to influence some sensors? Okay, he agreed. And I constructed a sensor with plasma inside. And then he came, he applied his energy to this sensor from the distance, of course. And I've seen the change of parameters. It was amazing. It was really amazing. And we repeated this experiment several times. It was the same effect. So it became clear to me that with our intention, with our mind, with our energy, we can influence not only other people, but we can influence physical world.
Mhm.
And this became one of the important part of my research in the last 40 years. Because in Soviet time, I was involved in one project to study telepathy communication. So we had laboratory, and I was the deputy head of this laboratory to establish telepathic communication with submarines and satellites. So it was told that Americans had same program, And of course, Soviets had to have this type of program as well. It was obligatory by that time. And after 1 or 2 years of research, of very special activity, we were able to establish this telepathic line between two people, and I did it between person and sensor. Because
And a machine, person and
and
a machine, basically.
yes,
Okay.
person, absolutely, absolutely. So I developed several sensors on different physical principles, and we demonstrated that with your intention, it is possible to influence this. And then you can keep this sensor, for example, in submarine or satellite, and someone can send intention. So it was a very interesting research project. It lasted for several years, but then Soviet Union collapsed and nothing happened. But in East, I was free from any official job, and I was able to develop my own line and to develop our own instruments. I had this idea long ago, and this was, I would say, digital level of Kirlian effect. So we had this an effect, and many people was interested in this in 20th century, 19th century even, to see light coming from different subjects in electromagnetic field. And in 20th century, 19th century, it was possible to detect this light by photofilm. But my idea was to make this on computer level without photofilm, because for me, it was clear, even in the beginning of is that soon photofilms and photo cameras will be discarded. And it happened.
Yep.
With our mobile phone, we have much stronger power than we had with many older cameras. And of course, even professionals now, they use digital cameras. So that is why in mid-90s, I was able to develop instruments together with my friends. And this is so-named gas discharge visualization camera, GDV.
Gas discharge
Forget it.
visualization.
It's too
Yeah.
scientific.
No, but it's interesting. The details for me anyway are interesting. Especially I do want to understand because plasma is very special. It has very special properties. And there is some belief that plasma can hold consciousness to some level. Yeah.
You
Or
see.
at least interact with consciousness. And so I wanted to understand, the use of plasma. Is that something that you continue to use in your devices, or have you moved away from using plasma?
No, we use some type of plasma because there are
Hmm.
many different types of plasma, many different types. I don't believe in the ideas that plasma has something with consciousness. Because plasma is just a matter. It's just a piece of matter. And same we can tell that, okay, this ring has connection with consciousness, or this garment has connection with consciousness,
Hmm.
or some amulets. Why not? Why not? Maybe they keep something in them. Now we have many devices of this kind. But for me, plasma is just a working instrument. And in our instrument, we use some type of plasma because what does it plasma? Electrons, photons, ions, and we use it. So we stimulate light from all our fingers. We record this light in very special camera. Now we name this Biowell camera. And then we can make computer processing. Now all the processing we make in online. So on Amazon server, we keep very complicated programs and we
Hmm.
improve those programs all the time. So the process is as follows. People use simple device, relatively simple, of course. It's simple to use, I would say.
Hmm. Hmm.
They make images of all 10 fingers one by one, and then they send all this information to the cloud, and immediately they receive information. And it's a lot of different information about your stress level, about your energy level, about your balance, sympathetic, parasympathetic balance, about your weak points of your system, about troubleshooting zones. So in experienced hands, it may be very powerful instrument. And we had more than 200 or maybe 300 papers published by different research teams in all those 30 years. And they all prove that this is very, very sensitive instrument. So I have
Hmm.
big bunch of papers on detecting oncology. Now we have big project in oncology in Kazakhstan, Kazakhstan country, and it's led by the top level professor oncologist. And so it is a very, very useful instrument for analysis of well-being and health. At the same time, we don't talk about diagnostics. It's a big mistake
Okay. Yeah.
because no instrument will make you diagnostic. Maybe with artificial intelligence. Now medicine is moving to automatic analysis, automatic diagnostic. It's absolutely clear. It's inevitable. And we are on this path as well. So I to make some conclusions. But in reality, any instrument makes analysis. And only then some clever person who has some experience and knowledge can make diagnostic. That's how people use our instruments. And it's really very helpful for many people in many organizations, hospitals, they use it. So this is
Can I ask you?
Yes, please.
Yeah, you mentioned that the method to do the measurements is by measuring each finger. I guess, are you measuring? Is it based on the energy meridians that are ending in the fingertips, or can you go into that a little bit?
You're absolutely right. On every finger, we have the end points of energy leads. So some time ago, long ago, we developed a map connecting our fingers with energy meridians. This map was tested, of course, by clinical environment in many clinical sites, and it was proven that it's really true. So now when we make this analysis, we're based on the map, energy map that makes it. And of course, it's all implemented in software. So people don't need to think what is this piece, what is this, that piece. They just use software and software tells them what should be done and what's the outcome. So that it's very complicated algorithms, of course, but they work very well.
And my understanding is that it's mostly it's for providers, that it's not like a device that you can buy and have at home and monitor your health yourself with. Is that right?
To some extent, yes. We have two instruments.
Okay.
One is Biowell Pro. This is for health providers, for sure. And it's connected to computer and it gives you overall information. Another instrument is Biowell Mini. It is instrument for people. It runs on a mobile phone with Amazon or iPhone. It immediately gives you information, and this gives you the overall information without detailed information about organs and systems. So it gives you the level of stress, your level of energy, your level of balance, and what's important, you can compare those readings before and after. That is very important. For example, you go to gym, you spend an hour on extensive exercising. Is it good for you or bad? What do you need to have some time to rest, or do you need to run immediately somewhere else? So you are measuring before after. Another very simple example, you have supplements, different supplements. Which one to take? What come? Do you need or don't you need? Again, it's very easy to test. We developed with an endocrinologist that allows you to understand, is it good for you or not? And you don't need to eat this supplement. You need only to take this bottle and apply to your heart chakra. Very, very important.
So it's a form of kinesiology in a way, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And many people, they use kinesiology together with our test, and they hope that it's very similar because it's all a response of our energy system to different factors. It's all the same. And one more very important topic. We are creating program. We have developed this program many years ago that gives us information about chakras.
About chakras.
Chakras, yes. Chakras, that's a very important notion in Ayurvedic medicine, very important. And they're well accepted now in Western, not science, maybe. People accept it very well.
It's accepted generally speaking, maybe not necessarily by the Western medical doctors.
No. Oh, of course, it's totally different. It's totally different. And chakras, they are very, very important topic for us because chakras, they are related to our psychological state, and they allow trained people to give analysis of psychological state. For lay people, when they have this information on their mobile phone screen, they can understand whether their chakras are balanced, for example, after meditation. It means they are really efficient in their meditation, or it is vice versa.
Mhm.
It means that either you're doing wrong meditation or you're doing it wrong or something else. Same as, for example, you come from an important meeting or from your boyfriend, and you can measure yourself how it had influence on your state, whether it was positive effect or negative effect. So that's different topics, very important topics. And we have developed another program based on so named Enneagram analysis. This is quite well developed system in psychology, Enneagram types. And based on different algorithms, we can define this type of Enneagram types. And this allows psychologists to tell who you are,
Mhm.
helps them to understand without questionnaires, because of course, usually they have to do a lot of questionnaires. So, and this allows them to.
Just from their energy, just from the client's energy.
So you see, there are many different options, both for professionals and for lay people.
Mhm.
And we develop this all the time. We present new programs. For example, recently we presented a program for dentists based on analysis of energy again and relates with dentist information. Then we presented that information about vertebrae. Of course, this is for professionals,
Mhm.
but it's a tool which very fast allow them to evaluate your state
Yeah.
and compare before after. You see, that's again very important.
Yeah. Are you familiar with anthroposophic medicine with Rudolf Steiner's? Yes. So, I mean, in a way, from my understanding, what this device, this Biowell device, and this technology, what it's measuring is the etheric body on the one hand, the functioning of the etheric in the different organs or in the chakras, whatever. And then also because it's so connected, right? Everything is connected. You also have access to the astral body because you're able to assess psychological states, mental states. Yeah.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Here we come to the fields of consciousness,
Mhm.
and it's very important field for us. We have many research lines in this field. Many I can tell you a little bit about this. Um, I'm a scientist for all my life, and I'm experimental scientist. I love to make experiments. I don't believe in anything. I don't believe any device. I don't believe any claim. I need to test it. To test it
Mhm.
in different experiments. So I'm more interested in practical results, in experimental results, than in different names. Because what you've told about this type of body, that type of etheric body, astral body, those are all concepts.
Mhm.
We have different concepts. Yeah, so there are many different concepts. And we had a big conference in Barcelona this year on consciousness, and was presented many different concepts. If you look to my papers with my name, you can find a couple of papers that were published together with my colleagues from Canada, from Montreal University, Concord University, where we discuss different concepts of consciousness. And of course, it's very important. At the same time, I like to make experiments. I like to prove that our consciousness is not just inside the brain,
Mhm.
much more than that. That we are part of the universe, and universe is a conscious. The basis of universe is conscious exchange between higher planes of universe and our world. So this is my belief, and this is what we try to prove with our experiments. So we have different lines in consciousness study. The main line, of course, still it is the influence of intention to different physical systems. Because if we believe and we know, if we prove, and we have proven this, that people can influence not only each other at a distance, but influence physical systems, then we sure that consciousness is not just inside. It is outside. It's a field. It's a part of our biological field, biofield. And we have many, of course, approaches. We can measure the influence to water. We have special sensors to measure water. We have a special sensor, name of the sensor is Sputnik.
It measures the room, the energy of the room, right?
Yes. It measures the energy of the room. I had a big research project for several years, maybe 5 or 6 years, by measuring energy of pyramids in different parts of the world. And I've been traveling a lot in different parts of the world, measuring pyramids and sacral sites. And it was absolutely clear that all the pyramids, all these sacred sites, they have very, very special energy.
Mm-hmm.
It's totally different from it's not just random buildings, it's not graves, it's not tombs, it's much more than that, no doubts.
Yeah, no, I felt it when I was in Egypt last year, and I definitely felt that energy in the Great Pyramid, and specifically, it was very intense. But not only.
Yes, absolutely, I agree with you. So for me, it is absolutely clear that it was some ancient constructions that was constructed by ancient civilizations, prehistoric civilization, before known to us civilizations,
Mhm.
that was designed to communicate with some other planes, some other universes, other civilizations.
Mm.
And it was unknown to us technologists because it is clear that they built all these structures, for example, in Egypt, it wasn't just built by simple hands. It was
Mhm.
much. It's technology, no doubt.
No doubt, yeah. And also, well, what you were mentioning, which I completely agree with you, right? That we're living in a consciousness field. It's not just consciousness in our brain and it happened to appear through random mutations over the course of millions of years. I don't think so. But the ability to interact with with physical objects, not with living things. That's also something that's been known in our ancient past, and some people still can do it, right? Like the telekinesis or levitate their own body. These CDs that were described in people who have very advanced consciousness states through their own practice of yoga, of meditation. I think this is also known in Russian monasteries as well, not just in the Indian history. Is that something that you are actively studying as well, or it's just part of the background of what interested you in it?
Yes, of course, I did this type of research in different countries with different unusual people. I've met many, many unusual people who was able to levitate, who was able to move subjects on the table. But for me, it is much more important and interesting to develop this ability for normal people, for
Mm-hmm.
everyone.
Mm-hmm.
My mind is much more important at this moment because we live in very interesting moment of history. We live in the time of transformation from material age to informational age.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it's very difficult transformation. We have war around on the planet. We have a lot of violence. We have hatred. So when people train to use their consciousness in positive way, one of the way how they can train it just by trying to send their intentions, positive intentions. When they see that it's measurable, it's not just their crazy ideas or someone's idea, but it's measurable. When they see that when they meditate, it's possible to measure this at the distance. And we can have big group of people who meditate for some peace, for positive, and then we can measure it at the distance. We have many experiments of this. You know Lynn McTaggart from Britain. Yes. So she's a good friend of mine, and we work together a lot because she's brilliant in organizing different type of experiments, and we do our measurements. Soon, they're preparing on Gaia TV. They're preparing new program with her.
Mm-hmm.
I will participate in this program just by with our measurements. So for me, this is very important. The more people will know that with their positive intention, they can influence the world, the more world would be harmonious. Of course, it will take maybe hundreds of years still to make the world harmonious, make the world totally peaceful.
Yeah.
I believe it's possible in this century. But if you change yourself by meditation, by positive intention, then you change the world a little bit, just around yourself. And this
Yeah.
is important.
Yeah.
My goal as a scientist is to give people instruments, not to do experiments by myself. Of course, I do experiments all the time. For me, it's a very important part of my life. But for me, much more important to give it to people. And that is why all our instruments, they are available. We describe how it should be done. This no secrets at all. Everything is open. I decided and put all my books for free, so people can download all my books and read it. It's interesting for them. So,
Yeah, I downloaded a couple of your books.
of course, I understand it's not easy to read. It's quite complicated, but it's maybe you will get some interesting ideas from this, because all my books based not only on ideas, because there are a lot of ideas, but it's based on results. I try to present our data, our results from our experiments, and then to show people what they can do with it, how it use it, and this is important.
Can we go back to the experiments that you've been doing on water? There have been other researchers who have demonstrated in more visible ways how water is affected by intention, by prayer, and even by words. So there's Masaru Emoto's work, and then recently Veda Austin. I don't know if you've heard of her work, but she's also showing even putting a word under a plate of water, and then her fast freezing program that then the water communicates back in a way by demonstrating an image that would reflects the word, the meaning of the word, or sometimes is a response to the word. What have your experiments shown about intention and water, and then how we can take advantage of that?
For me, water was for many decades very important part of my research. I participate in water conferences practically every year, before COVID, after COVID as well. And I was able to meet top level scientists as Jerry Pollack, who is a good friend of mine, like Emilio Del Giudice, who was fantastic scientist, Vladimir Vayekov, many other top level scientists. And we together, we are developing this new science of water.
Mhm.
You can find our book, my book on this topic. It's available to download. And where, together with my friend Vladimir Vayekov, we present these new ideas of water, new scientific ideas. But seems to me some chapters of this book is they are readable. Yes, you still get it. Water is alive. So we don't understand how important water for the universe. You know that the first element in the universe is hydrogen, then helium. But water is the third element in the universe. So we can find water on all the planets that we know now. Of course, it's ice, but it's water. We have unlimited amount of water under our mantle of our Earth.
Under the
And
mantle, you said?
yes, under the mantle. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And we understand that without water, life is impossible. Now we know that we need to use not just any water, but we need to use very special water, structured water. And I have developed instruments that allows to see the structure of water. And it's very important. Many researchers, they use this instrument. And now we are developing special system with magnetic fields to create this type of structured water. And water has a memory. Water has response to everything. So water, we can tell that water is alive. Even if you take distilled water or double osmosis water, it's still alive. If you take water from good source, natural source, it is even more strong.
Mm-hmm.
Water keeps all the influences, and we can measure this. I was very good friend with Masaru for many years, and we had many joint experiments with him. He was a fantastic person, of course, and I liked him very much. But with our instruments, we can measure exactly the same. His approach was very visible, very beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
of
Mm-hmm.
course. Our approach is not so clear, but still we make pictures We can show these pictures to people. It is absolutely clear what is good, what is bad on water, light coming from water. And we can make a lot of experiments with it. So sending intention to water, that's easy. So we can make this like online dynamics. So we take glass of water, we put our sensor inside this water, and we're measuring this signal from this sensor for maybe half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours. And it's quite stable. Then someone, one person or group of people, sending their intention to this water, and we record this. So we have many experiments of this kind. In some experiments, we put several sensors in the room, and again, it was possible to see how they respond to this intention. With Lynn McTaggart, she was able to collect many people from internet, and those people at some particular moment was sending intention, even more than that. Recently, Lynn McTaggart and other researchers, they made experiments when they collected big group of people, hundreds of people, and all those people was sending their intention, positive intention for peace. And being thousands of miles away, we were able to detect this influence.
Yeah.
So it means, again, that with our intention, we can really influence material world. We had many experiments with Masaru. He was coming to some lakes and he was trying to bless the lake. And again, we were able to see effect. We were able to see how water transforms. Of course, it's very complicated topic. In some cases, this influence was kept for a long time. In some cases, it's gone after 10 minutes. So it's totally different.
Yeah.
In my goal, not just to make these experiments, because we did it a lot. I published a couple of papers. It's written in my books. But to give people this, allow people to make them themselves and to prove to themselves, to their colleagues, to their friends that it's real. That's not imagination. It's not fake. Because you know that we always have this, I would say, fighting with rigid scientists, scientists that tell that it's all nonsense, it's all impossible, it's all your imagination, it's all crazy. Now, finally, after many years, nobody can reject the power of meditation.
Yeah.
I remember in 90s, again, I was discussing with a psychologist. They thought, oh, meditation, it's nonsense. You have good pills, you take a pill, and it's...
Well,
Now it's different. Now, most of 99 maybe of psychologists tell, oh, yes, meditation is very good. If you do this, it will be very good, but pill as well. So, we have many experiments that really come out of, say, normal age. For example, just today, we have our latest paper published, where, together with our colleagues from Canada, we present our results in studying dying people. So, idea was to study energy of people in the process of dying. And we have a very bright lady who works in hospices, and she helps people to go to death. And she was able to make agreement with dying people, with their relatives, that we do this measurement. And she's doing this measurement. We process data, and we were able to see, very interesting. We were able to see that energy is coming down day by day. It's coming down. Yes. But then one day before death, it increases.
Goes up.
And it keeps high after death.
For how many days? Okay, right. But by the end of those 2 days, is it still high or is it okay?
Even more than that. We are measuring chakras. And we see that some chakras, they are variable, some chakras, they are very stable. And this is characteristic of psychological state of the person. After this, we see those chakras still very high and stable. So, of course, it's only preliminary experiments. We don't make any final conclusions, of course. Several cases, but it gives us new understanding.
Yeah.
It gives us the way to understand that after death is not the end of everything. It is really transformation to not take to another dimension. We prove it with our experiments, same as other scientists try to prove it with their own ideas, but then totally change the consciousness of our Western civilization.
Yeah. Yeah, that's in the esoteric Christianity, the belief is that you're still connected, your soul is still around your physical body for 3 days after death, after the physical body is no longer functioning. And then there's a dissolution of that etheric body that held, yeah, all of the memories of the person's life. So it's very interesting and fascinating, really, that you're able to measure something energetically. And I'm just curious, you said you're measuring the chakras. It's obviously a different device. It's not the Biowell device.
Biowell
With the
device,
Biowell device.
but just a program that based on Ayurvedic medicine.
Mm-hmm.
I developed this program together with one Ayurvedic doctor many years ago in 2000, and it's proven. And people in India they use it a lot, and psychologists use it a lot. So it's really proven that works very well. Very easy program as well.
Now, I
Good.
have another question, which, I don't know if you'll be able to answer this, but is it possible to measure someone's energy without, like remotely, without using the
Devices.
fingers?
You see, yes, of course, we have sensor, Sputnik sensor, that can really respond to human energy. And we have clear experiments with this. For example, I can tell you one friend of mine who is top level businessman, millionaire, multimillionaire. He put this sensor in his room, conference room, and he has screen at the top, and only he himself can see the screen. And when he has meetings with his team or with someone, he looks to the screen. If signal comes up, it means people are really involved in conversation. They are involved in what's going on. If signal is coming down, it means people are tired. They
Mm.
lose their attention. And he says, okay, guys, let's now make some tea break. You see, that is why we can make this measurement remotely. And we can do it for one person, for a group of people. And we have many experiments of this kind. And it's not experiments. You see, now it's practice.
Mhm.
Some people now they use Biowell, they have this sensor, and they do their own experiments. When we meet at some conference, they tell us about this. Of course, they are not scientists, or most of them, and they are not able to publish their papers. But they do this all the time. So, as I've told you, my goal from the very beginning was to create some instruments for people,
Mhm.
non very expensive, very affordable to use, very user friendly, and of course to give people all the information. So now we're just in this stage. So now people use it and they have their very good results on their own.
Yeah. Yeah, that was cool. It's great. I would actually like to try one myself. I have known about it for several years now, but never thought to. Yeah, I work in a hospital setting, and I haven't thought about how that would be received there, actually. Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah,
Okay, yay. I'm glad you were able to reconnect.
so
Yes. So I was just saying that I would love to use it. So far, I haven't brought it up in the hospital that I work in. I do work in an anthroposophic clinic, so, maybe that we're a little bit more open to that. And also for energy healing work, that's also, I think, a place where it would be very interesting to see where are we having an effect, right? And some people probably can even use it to help improve their efficacy, right? What are they doing? Yeah.
yes, you're very welcome. It's available and biowell.com. You can contact our management there, and it's very easy. and there are training sessions. So there's all everything available. Well, you're very welcome. I would be happy if you would use it.
Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, you did just mention it's the website. I'll include the information in the description as well for everyone to be able to reach your company. And you said that the device to use with the phone is also available, but I looked on the website and I couldn't find it.
Not at the moment, because now it's still in testing period, but I'm sure
Okay.
it will be available in December.
Okay. So next month.
Next month, yes.
All
Before,
right.
yeah, yes.
Christmas gift, right?
Yeah, that's why we planned it. May be a very good Christmas gift. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. Well, is there anything else that you'd like to add?
You see, as you've seen, we have many experiments, many data, and we are always in the process of different experiments. But what's important, now we have many interesting researchers, a lot of interesting information. People like yourself let other people to know about this. And this is very important. So I hope that all people have positive intention, who want to develop their own brain, who want to develop their own consciousness. They can reach this information, they can read it, and then they can improve their own life.
Mm,
When you do meditation, when you do positive intention trainings, you improve, first of all, your own life. And then
absolutely.
you make your life much more interesting and
Yeah, great. Well, thank you so much for joining me for this Balance and Blissful Energies podcast. And I look forward to interacting with the Biowell device and maybe with you again in one of your conferences or some other conference. Thank you
okay.
so much, Konstantin.
Thank you. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Well, thank you for watching this episode of Balanced and Blissful Energies. If you found it interesting, please mention it in the comments below. Would you find yourself using such a device to measure your energy before or after a workout or eating something, or even using it to determine if you need to take a supplement? I have my own methods. I use a form of kinesiology. I use a pendulum, and it seems to work well for me, but it's also nice to get this other kind of feedback. And I'd love to hear your experience. Perhaps you've already had a measurement with a Biowell device. And if you've been at a Dr. Joe Dispenza retreat, it's possible that your energy has been measured in the room where the Sputnik device has been deployed in many of his retreats. So thank you again. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and see you in the next podcast.